Now, the latest report by the Commission for Equity Employment says white South Africans are overrepresented at management level as they occupy 70% of the positions. This is almost 7 times more than the economically active population number, or EAP. The report says Africans occupy 13.6% of the management positions and are underrepresented according to their EAP. It says South African coloureds are underrepresented at management level, while those of Indian descent are overrepresented 3 times over. Well, joining me from our Pretoria studios, Tabea Magodielo, chairperson of the Commission for Employment Equity. Tabea, thanks very much indeed for joining us and good afternoon. It appears there's been very little change from the year before, at least on management level. Is this concerning for you?
It is very concerning because every year we expect to have significant increases based on the EAPs that are reflected in the report. And it is quite disappointing to see that every time for the past 5 years, the changes have been insignificant. It is of great concern to us.
And then, to the untrained eye, it would appear that we are seeing an increasingly number of women in top positions. Is that really the case?
Sorry, I missed the question. Can you repeat, please?
I'm just saying, to the untrained eye, it would appear that there are more and more women occupying management positions. Is that what the numbers are telling us?
There is a movement in terms of female representation, specifically when it comes to professional employees as well as the skilled technical staff.
Yeah, where are those sectors actually providing the numbers? I mean, when you look at those sectors that are doing well, let's start with the gender component. Which sectors are really proving to be quite positive in terms of women leadership?
Most of the change or the shift is happening primarily amongst African males. There is a significant increase at this stage. I can't give you the figures, but they are in the report. But if you look at professional staff, you see that there's a great movement. If I can just go to the report itself. If you look at professional staff, 2014, we see that there's an increase of 42.9% of professionally qualified staff that are female or employees, whereas with males, we've gone down to 57.1%. Unfortunately, in front of me, I don't have the details of the report, but in our report, they're reflected.
All right. I just want to go back now to talk about the companies handing in their equity reports. It seems as though the private sector, according to the numbers, are respecting their submissions. Do you get, is there an increase in the number of submissions you are receiving compared to the years before? Is that improving?
There has been an increase of the submissions. This year we received 24,000, just over 24,000 reports. We've had some of the designated employers come off the register because with the new requirements, some of them either have less than the required number of staff or their turnover is less. But in the whole, we're seeing an increase in the number of reporting, especially from the private sector.
Yeah, and then, of course, you have government leading the way. I want to go back to the numbers now, racially. Government still happens to be leading the transformation process on top management level. What seems to be the shining parts in terms of the government departments? Who are doing the improvements?
I can only comment on the spheres of government. If you look at national government, for example, African males, we've got 35.3%. Provincial government, 46.8%. Local government, 5.1%, which is quite significant. Also, if you look at state-owned companies, African males are sitting at 38.8%. When we consolidate the reports, we don't highlight in the report the actual companies, but I can just tell you that government is doing exceptionally well. The areas of concern would be the private sector and the educational institutions.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks very much indeed, Tabea Magodielo, chairperson of the Commission for Employment Equity. Thanks indeed for your time.